Developing tonight, a temporary tip line leads to more questions after a quadruple homicide. IMPD set up the tip line for 48 hours in hopes of getting more information. But as Sierra Hignites learned, officers are dealing with a familiar roadblock in this investigation.
Nina, in cases like the quadruple homicide on the Far East Side, police say it is imperative that anyone that knows anything about it tells police. But community members say there lies the disconnect. They say there's a code of silence that's being honored, as well as a fear of protection that often keeps people from sharing information with police. IMPD manned the Crime Stoppers phones for 48 hours this week in hopes of getting information on open murder cases, specifically the quadruple homicide. But Crime Stoppers tells News 8 that the majority of the calls that came in weren't related to that investigation.
So as it relates to the quadruple homicide, we're still looking for information in regards to finding the people involved. And so contacting Crime Stoppers would be very helpful at this time.
It's a common issue that police run into. People are afraid to speak up about crime that they've witnessed or know something about.
May also be involved, in criminal activity in the street. So they don't want to go against their code of non-snitching. So the challenge is, how do we convince those individuals, to come forward and provide information to law enforcement?
Reverend Charles Harrison with 10 Point Coalition says he often hears the same story from people that live in these neighborhoods that see a significant amount of crime.
We won't come forward and provide that information if there's not guarantees that we're going to be protected, our family's going to be protected.
IMPD assures the public that the tip line is 100% anonymous. But for some community members, that reassurance isn't enough.
We don't know at all who the person is. We just know the information that they're giving, and that part is, sometimes we don't even care who the person is. We just want the information so that we can then be able to make the right steps in solving these cases.
As these families prepare to lay their loved ones to rest, communities are reminded that sharing valuable information pertaining to an investigation could be the stopping point before a criminal finds their next victim.
Just imagine what the family members of these homicide victims are really going through.
Now, funerals for 3 of the 4 victims of that quadruple homicide have been announced, and those will take place at the end of next week. But tomorrow, near where the quadruple homicide happened, there will be a vigil held at 6 p.m. to honor 2 of those victims. And then also earlier this week, we told you about grief counseling that's happening on the Far East Side. There was one session last Sunday, another session this Sunday, and they have now ironed out the details for that as well. It'll be happening this Sunday at the cafe in the afternoon. And you can find all those details on our website in this story, wishtv.com. Reporting downtown, I'm Sierra Hignite, Wish TV, News 8.